Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at MATIC. Seem to be following the TA that we posted yesterday, so we're going to be reevaluating it and see whether we're still on track or whether we think that there's some deviations that could happen here. Okay, but before we get into that, I'd just like to say thank you for watching the video. If you would like to show your support, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a video. Also, leave us some feedback in the comment section down below, whether that's coin requests or just things you'd like to see within the videos. We're always happy to hear back from you guys. Okay, so let's jump into the price action here. So yesterday we were talking about the fact that we could have an extension within these waves, and for the most part, it seems to have respected this fourth wave so far. It is possible that this fourth wave is completed here, and basically what we are starting to form is a 5-wave move to the downside. If I just measure this down into the zone here, really what we'd want to see is a move down towards this 0.7859 area. Moving down towards that would indicate to me that actually what we have here is if I just draw this on here, a 1, 2, 3, looking for a 4, and then a 5th wave to the downside. So the target area we were talking about yesterday was this 77.10 to the 75.48 area. This was the area we're looking for potential to target out, and we're still looking at that until proven otherwise. There is, however, until we reach that impulsive trigger that we have mentioned there, it is possible that this could also just be a corrective move should we fail to hit it. And if I just throw this back on here, basically we can see we've come down to this 1382 already. It is possible that we're going to come down to this 1618 and then effectively we would have a bigger 5-wave move to the downside here. Extension is still possible. For instance, we could have this as a 1-2, this is a 1-2, and then we would look to drop much deeper, which would potentially look to target out this area that we had drawn up here. So with that said and done, what we were talking about yesterday is the potential that we could still have an additional wave within this move, which would be this teal fourth wave. So it's important to see what happens from this zone should we break down into here. If we break down into this area, we'd be looking for a fourth wave retracement again, potentially. It's not guaranteed because we can count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 into this zone, and actually that's just a 1, 2. But it does look a bit better counting this 1-2-1-2 situation, and it'll only really reveal itself in a bit in time. So we've got to see how we react from this zone here down in these lows. So like we were talking about yesterday, we got the potential for this additional fourth wave here. If that does play out and we fall into this green box area that we had indicated, depends where exactly we land up, but we could potentially look for another bounce up to look and retest this sort of 382 zone all the way up to the 0.5 zone at 84.77 and 82.76. That would be the typical retracement for these, though it is possible for it to fall slightly shorter. So we just have to keep an eye on it. But if this does play out, we wouldn't be expecting to make it back above this grid or this box area here. And what we would be looking for is a move in a 3-wave move or a triangle or something. If it was a triangle, it might not reach as high as this, but basically a move back down into the 75.26 to 73.11 zone. So if we do move down further, basically what we'd be looking for is, because we are looking at the possibility that within this move here, that we could be completed at this point. At this point here, and that would be an ABC to the upside, and that's completed. Though the structure within this, like I said yesterday, is a bit strange. I would have counted it as an expanding diagonal, but this last wave is a bit shallow because it should be longer than this middle wave here. Though I am still keeping an eye on it, and if that does potentially play out, what we could then see is if we do get this move down into this box here, we could see an additional fourth wave. And what this would be looking out for is this is a 1, 2, down into this zone for a 3, and then looking to retrace back up and potentially look to target out the same sort of zone of 81.68 to 83.94. So the key things to note here is moving back above this low point here. If I can get this on here. Here we go. Moving back above that low point there at 87 cent would invalidate the potential of having this additional five-wave move to the downside, additional fourth wave move to the downside, fifth wave move to the downside, like we've got shown here. Basically, this would invalidate that fifth wave move. And then we would potentially be looking at two options. Now, the two options that we were talking about yesterday is that if we do move back up, what we would be looking for, it depends once again, if we start to move back up from this box, the target will be slightly different, but I do think that we have this additional wave in here, though we'll have to wait for confirmation. What we'd be looking for potentially is a move back up into this zone if we are going to be looking to continue to the downside. I'm going to just change this box to a red box for now, and then basically this would be a typical B wave or wave 2 retracement. So if we do decide to, or if this is a bigger impulse, what we'd be expecting is a move back up here. It could potentially look to retest these lows here and then find support or find the resistance. So 618 here, the 702 is right on it. So I'm going to take it up to that 702. I'm going to just drop that there for a second. So if we now project this down, effectively what we'd be looking at is the potential for a much deeper move here. If I can get it on this top zone again, there we go, down into this low, up into this high point here of the 702. Effectively, then our area that we would be looking to target out potentially is this 60 cent 46 zone, which would then mean we'd have a bigger five-wave move to the downside here. So this area would then, looking off of this 1.618, which is a typical travel area, these can sometimes extend or fall short depending on the wave structure within the move. So this could mean that we end up landing right about here in this 1236 to this 1618, which is this 0.5839 to this 0.5527 zone. This could potentially line up with this 1-to-1 line, which we have drawn down here. And basically, if I just turn this on, this is the 1-to-1 line of this B wave, but I think that was drawn from much higher up. So I just need to just double check this because we haven't actually, because if this is the high point, effectively what we'd be looking for, yeah, so that is the 1-to-1 zone. So it is off of that high that we have there. So that could be a potential area that we look to target out, this 05610 zone. Though, like we talked about in the previous video, there is also potential for extension within these waves, so we just need to keep an eye on that. Though moving back up above this 94.19 would invalidate this potential of having these bigger waves to the downside, as we've got shown here, and what we would potentially rather have is, this is an A wave, all of this would become a B wave, and then we'd be looking for that C wave to the upside. This would then make us look at a flat correction potential within this move. And if we do start to see five-wave structure developing here, although we would have to be careful because this wave 2 shown here would typically be a zigzag as well. So we'd have to track these side by side and just wait for confirmation. And we'd have to be just on the ball with these, just in case we do actually have a C wave to the upside, which should look to break these highs here. If it is a expanding diagonal, if it is an expanding flat, basically what we would be looking at here is the potential for this move up into these highs. Let's plonk that on there. And if we come down into this green box area, a typical zone for these, if it is an expanding, would be between this $1 and this $1.06 zone. And if it is going to develop into a running flat, basically this 0.6 is an interesting zone, which is this 0.8541 all the way up to this 0.9183 area. This could be a typical zone that we could look to target out with this. So we need to just bear that in mind. I do think that we're going to have a bounce to the upside one way or another once we complete this five-wave move. It's whether we're currently in this fifth wave or whether we still have some progression in this fourth wave here. So jumping back to that, what we would need to be aware of, if I just actually remove some of this other noise here for a section, there we go, is if this fourth wave is not completed, it starts to get a bit big for this count here, for this wave 2. So I would have to at that point basically say that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 into this low like that. And then we would be just looking for this single fifth wave to the downside. But should this fourth wave want to move up some more, what we could be potentially looking for is, it depends where exactly this move is. If I just throw this fib on from here, we can have a look. So we've come all the way down to this 0.854 zone, 786 zone. And this is really as sort of the as deep as you want it to go if you're looking for a B wave within this move. Starting to break down below the 7878 zone would indicate to me that there's a good potential we are actually just dropping down here, and it would probably pass that impulsive trigger of this wave, of this move that we measured earlier. So, however, if it does decide that it wants to move up, as the market does, sometimes catches us unawares. Basically, what we'd have to be aware of is we could see, I can't really measure it because there's it's not completed, but we could have something like this play out, where we have a bigger corrective structure to the upside. And if I throw this onto this zone here, effectively what we would be looking at is, so that 1-to-1 would potentially take us quite high, might be this 0.618, though we don't really want it to go much higher than that. Typically it would be this 0.5 to this 382, and like I said, we've reached that zone already, so I'm not I'm not certain that we're going to get this additional push up, but basically until we start to see this confirmation of the impulse, we have to be aware that there are possibilities of other things that can go on. And if we just take it from its current location, if I drop this on here, yeah, like so, this 1-to-1 would roughly take us up to this 83.43. So should we experience a bounce to the upside from this point, it's possible that we're actually still within this fourth wave, though should we progress down, we would be looking for whether we're going to get this additional teal fourth wave up back into the zone before being rejected again. Once that's completed, looking for this zone. If we fail to get rejection in here, then potentially we are looking to move back up and retest this B wave rejection zone that we had plotted out earlier, which we didn't move into. So those are the things that I'm currently looking out for. Until we get some more structure, we just need to give the market a bit of time to show its hand. And until then, just remember, stay safe out there, guys. If you're going to be trading, use correct risk management. And I mean, we use BYBIT. It really is a great exchange. There's an affiliate link down in the description. If you don't have an account already, helps support the channel. But you can set your stop loss, your take profit, and it shows you your liquidation price and everything within your trade before you even enter the trade. So you can plan it all out. You can use good risk management and just trade properly. Also in the description, there's a link to Discord. Why not come and have a chat with us, whether that is TA related or just crypto related in general. We're always happy to help anyone out who comes in there. And yeah, just to keep safe out there, everybody. And until we see each other in the next video, take care.